evening and welcome to another Sunday night stream. We are going to take you through some charts and analysis tonight of where we think price is going, what's been going on with price over the last few days, and what we think is going to be the catalyst for the next move up. Good to see so many in the chat. Let me know you can hear me, and yeah, let's get into the charts. Don't worry, Ross, we will cover Borg, Opulus and DOT. We'll also look at XRP, and most of the focus is going to end up on Ethereum because I do think it holds the key to the next move in the altcoin market. So let's start with Bitcoin on the daily. As you can see, not a lot of volume in the markets over the weekend. The weekly candle is shaping up to be the highest weekly close in history, around $104,800. Anything really above 104,650 will be the highest weekly close in history, which is obviously bullish, but these small little steps are nothing compared to what I think is going to come in the next few weeks. The weekend was pretty dull, not a lot happening since Friday night's close. In fact, we're pretty much trading back where we ended Friday. The 4-hour chart, you can see there's literally nothing happening in the market all weekend. Now, these sideways, slow, low volume moves typically end with a big explosive move, one way or the other, either up or down, but no matter what happens in the coming days, we will see a break in this structure. Now, for me, Bitcoin, I do think in the coming days will start skyrocketing. It'll breach this green box. I do think 115,000 might be the next local top we see, and then from there we could see quite a deep correction, depending on how quick we get there. Alternatively, we blast through it and go straight to 125k and then retrace to 100k. Although that would be ridiculous prices, you know, talking about retracing to 100k. A 25k move would obviously scare and panic a lot of people out of the market. My focus right now is on Ethereum. I think Ethereum holds the key to the altcoin market, and if we zoom out on the 3-day chart, you can see we've tested this $4,100 range a few times now. Once back here, kind of twice in here at the start of December, and then in the middle of December when the altcoin market was really flowing. There was a lot of activity. Ethereum never really broke out, never made a new all-time high. As we can see on the weekly, Ethereum still, I mean, right now today it's down still 31% off its all-time high. People are massive FUD against Ethereum right now, massive people like just complaining. The people that had .eth in their Twitter names have removed it. People are selling their Ethereum. For me, this just reminds me exactly like XRP back in the summer. Everybody was so sick of XRP, so bored of it. People started selling their XRP around 52 cents, and that was literally days before XRP took off, and I think we're seeing a similar thing right now. If you look at Ethereum, it's the all-time high for shorts against Ethereum. Now, why would so many people be shorting Ethereum if it wasn't that either they know something big is coming, or they're trying to suppress the price to get as much buying done at these low levels? But either way, there's like billions of shorts in the Ethereum market right now. Once they begin to close or get liquidated, Ethereum could fly, and I'm talking like a few $1,000s in a short space of time, break the all-time high and just keep going. Ethereum's done it before. You see some of these crazy candles back in 2021. It pumped 28% that week and then done another 40% the week after. So in 2 weeks it moved up 70%, which was a huge move back then. So yeah, I do think we could see some movement in Ethereum. Now, you'll see this downtrend that I've been tracking for a while. Entered on the 17th of December when the market started to sell off. We've obviously been rejected in January a few times. For me, this has to break before Thursday. The reason for that is most kind of down triangles, if you want to call it that, break at the 75% mark. The 75% mark is 12 AM Thursday. So for me, it's kind of a ticking clock. We will see a breakout eventually of Ethereum. Percentage probability puts it to the upside, and then the target would be this $4,100 level where it entered the downtrend. So it all seems to rhyme, all seems to make sense. There's a lot of confluence that this will break, and the target is the $4,100 level. If we look on, let's take some of these lines off to clear it up on the 3-day chart. Now it's a bit messy, so it might not play out, but this to me looks pretty much like a head and shoulders pattern. So if we do see Ethereum come up here, for me the predicted path from Ethereum right now would be breakout, test the 4,100, probably break through it, back test the neckline, and then the target of this breakout is the depth of from the neckline to the bottom of the head, and I'm pretty sure it puts it around $6,000. Yeah, 5.9. So $5,900. Now obviously this is a 3-day time frame, so this isn't going to play out this week. It's going to take a few weeks to play out. This kind of head formation here to here was 132 days, so it's not going to take overnight to play out, but we could be in the beginnings of a right hand shoulder on this head and shoulders pattern, which would be extremely bullish, and it's very similar to Bitcoin during the bear market. If everybody remembers, let's go here, we can see that this is pretty much the exact same pattern that Bitcoin played out. Left shoulder, down to the head, back up, and then you see we broke out, tested the neckline for support. We actually tested it twice, and then it exploded way higher. The reason this gives me extra evidence that this might play out is this left hand shoulder is a bit messy. You can see we came down, and then we had a little kind of rounded area in here. Well, we're seeing the exact same thing on Ethereum right now. Came down, have this kind of rounded area before we go into the head, so it's a bit messy, but it looks like a very similar pattern playing out. If that plays out, then yeah, I do expect Ethereum to break all-time high and pump much higher. And I do think, I know somebody's asked in the comments, but I think we'll see a $10,000 Ethereum this cycle. I think all the FUD is just building and building, and eventually it's just going to explode so much higher. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking for Ethereum. I think other than XRP, Ethereum is where I'm kind of watching, because Ethereum holds the key to the altcoin market. Once Ethereum breaks out, altcoins are going to explode, and I do think if we start seeing kind of that $3,500 to $3,700 level break, 3,500 here, and then 3,700 sets just here. So if we zoom out, sorry, this will make it a bit more obvious. So yeah, if we break this downtrend and we break this peak here, and then we also break this touch here, then that'll be really bullish, and that'll be two targets. So if you were going to trade this like a long trade, you would enter on the breakout or maybe the retest of this downtrend line, and then these would be take profit levels, with the last one being the last touch of the line up at $4,050. So that's how I see it playing out. Hopefully we get that break this week. Like I say, Thursday's kind of the deadline for it, otherwise the pattern kind of becomes invalidated. Let's have a look at XRP. So there's a lot of funny things going on with XRP. Let's go on the lower time frames and look at some of these bull flags we've had since we broke the 60 cent level. Drop these charts in CC Pro. So if you're not in CC Pro, that's our private Discord, links in description. But we were chatting about these bull flags, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the daily time frame, we've got this bigger bull flag here from 3rd of December into January, broke out of that, and we're technically in a bull flag here. Now if we add volume as an indicator, so I don't use volume a lot, but if we look at what happens during each of these phases, if we look on the daily time frame, we could see as we move into a bull flag just on the 2nd of December, volume was really high, and then it tapered off until we exited the bull flag. Now if we go to a lower time frame, you can see high volume as we entered the most recent bull flag at all-time high just 10 days ago. But what has happened to volume since we entered? It's completely tapered off. So what I expect over the coming days, maybe even in the next 48 hours, is a massive spike in volume on XRP, and that will give us the breakout of the bull flag. And it's repeated time and time again. We can see, let me try and zoom in to show this. I'm not sure how good this shows on stream, but if you look at the charts, you can see spike in volume as we move into a bull flag, volume tapers off, and then you get that spike in volume and we spike out of the bull flag. So as we've already discussed, there's literally zero volume in the markets this weekend, so that is actually a bullish sign. That typically means the pattern is coming to an end, and you can see we've had a decline in volume as we move through the bull flag. So a lot of similarities in the charts, a lot of patterns repeating themselves. For me, the most bullish thing is the fact that volume's tapering off, and this has played out over and over again. At the same time, Ethereum looks to be starting to complete the right hand shoulder of a head and shoulders pattern, which has a $6,000 target. And of course, Bitcoin is at all-time highs, around 105,000, about to put in a highest weekly close in history. Everything looks bullish apart from sentiment, and we'll come back to that shortly. Let's have a look at the chat. Let's see who's all in. Hopefully that XRP thing made sense. Hopefully everybody's as bullish as we are on XRP, and the chart is pretty much telling its story for us. Let's see who's all in. Lewis is in, Ross, Gala and Flame. Let's have a look. Harry's asking about XRP. Yeah, the reason I think Ethereum will eventually explode much higher is ETFs, but also right now the ETFs can't stake their Ethereum. So I think that will be really bullish. I think it earns like I think if you stake Ethereum, you earn like 2 or 3%, which to most people that sounds like nothing. But if you're buying an ETF, you pay a 2% management fee. So if you could get that management fee for free by staking, then that's really bullish. You're basically holding Ethereum in an ETF wrapper for free. That'll be very attractive to hedge funds and institutional investors that hold hundreds of billions of dollars worth of assets under management. So that's why I think that will be a catalyst. I think that will get approved really soon. And yeah, I think that will bring a lot of people back to Ethereum. Solana also looking very bullish right now, just in this. Every single altcoin seems to be in this kind of pennant formation, something like that. Obviously a bit terribly drawn, but if Solana was to break out of this, the target is huge. It goes from where the pattern began. So if it broke out there, say the target is $363, I think we see $500 Solana sooner rather than later as well. Let's have a look at DOT for Ross in the chat. DOT for me is looking quite bullish in terms of this is it bottomed, and I'll show you why. Let's have a look. So on the 4-hour chart, you can see it's no longer putting in lower lows or lower highs, so the downtrend's over for DOT. If it can close a 4-hour candle above 647, then it's put in a higher high. But what is mostly bullish for me is it's came down and filled the majority of these wicks. So we always say big wicks always get filled. You see it here, create a big wick, pump up, but then eventually this imbalance in the market always gets filled. So we kind of came down and started to fill this wick, but we created another one. We've now came down and filled the majority of both these wicks. That's a really bullish sign in charts, and when that happens, that's typically when the bottom forms, and then we can move on up out of that area. Yeah, we can cover Cardano actually. Cardano looks pretty bullish to me, but I've been saying that for a while, to be fair. If anyone wants to learn charts, Cardano's chart over the last 2 years, yeah, going back to May 2022, it's just textbook, and this is similar to what, let's try and clean up this chart so that I can show it to everybody. But yeah, if you want to go and learn charts, go and look at the ADA chart. This is what I think Ethereum's going to do. So the target for Ethereum would be the downtrend. You can see it'll go up, hit the first point of contact around here and just blast through it, but test it back as support. That resistance level, that local high, becomes a support level, and then the top of the downtrend actually becomes the target of the move. And you can see here we nailed that one. So yeah, I think Cardano looks pretty bullish. These fibs, let's have a look on the daily. Yeah, the only thing for me with Cardano is it might come back down to this 89-cent level, and again, that's just to fill this wick here. So you might get a move down. It just depends on Ethereum, to be fair. There's a lot more wicks back up in the chart. So yeah, for me right now it looks like it could have bottomed. Again, that sideways kind of boring no volume pattern is everywhere. Let's have a look at Borg. Still coiling up. I saw somebody put that earlier in CC Pro chat room that every chart was coiling up, and it's so true. And that's why I think Ethereum might be the catalyst for the next move. If XRP leads the way, that'll be great for XRP, and the money will eventually flow into other altcoins. But typically with Ethereum, it's like the rising tide that lifts all boats, in the sense that when Ethereum runs, all the altcoins run, chasing it. So yeah, I do think that might be the catalyst for the next move, but XRP looks primed as well. And to be fair, we talk about Ethereum FUD, but over the weekend, the Bitcoin cult maxis lost their head with XRP. So yeah, but yeah, Borg looking pretty good, to be fair. A couple of bullish candles as well. So yeah, we could see a move up. I read that BorgPad is moving to a couple of launches a week, maybe even 3, through their blitz pools. So basically they're going to do smaller amounts, lower market cap projects, but they're going to launch 2 or 3 a week. So every single one's going to have Borg buy pressure. So as soon as that happens, you could see Borg make that next leg up. and that would be closer to the $1 level for me. I think 50 cents makes sense, but once we break that, I think we could see Borg absolutely tear and head up to the $1 level. Completely undervalued at the moment for me. Darren asking about Wyckoff. Yeah, Wyckoff's great. It's a great tool. It's a great analysis. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what XRP did in here to a certain extent. Come down, put in a high, come back down, consolidation, move up, consolidation, and then we'll move up again. Let's see what else is in the chat. VeChain. Good question. How the month will end. Let's have a look at Bitcoin for that. So, despite everybody's pessimism, January's been an amazing month. 12% move with all the volatility going on. The Fed in the US has paused rate cuts, so that should lower the amount of liquidity. Bitcoin's still up 12%, but factor in that Donald Trump's pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin, Michael Saylor's buying more, companies are buying more, banks are now authorized to custody digital assets. All these things have a lag. So, like, when the US government announces that banks are allowed to custody assets, digital assets, they don't just run out that afternoon and buy them. It takes a few weeks for them to authorize it, for them to work out what they're buying, how much they're buying, when they're buying. These things have a lag of a couple of weeks. So I do think all this bullish momentum is eventually going to hit the crypto market. So yeah, I think we'll see that over the next few weeks. I think we'll have a bullish end to the month. We've got the FOMC on Wednesday. Rate pause is priced in by the markets, but Donald Trump has said that he wants yields down, he wants rates lower. So how that plays out, that'll be interesting. I do think we could see some indication of QE returning, and that's the Fed buying US bonds, and without lowering rates, that would lower the borrowing rates on US debt. So there's different levers the government's got. QE is one of them. I do think we'll see a return to QE very soon. Let's have a look at VeChain. By the way, I never meant, so Ryan said surely Borg's got to go past $1. Yeah, what I meant was in the next move, I expect $1 to be hit very soon. Yeah, I see Borg much higher, $3 definitely, maybe even higher. So yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. So yeah, I think $1 is probably a good target for now. Yeah, VeChain just consolidating sideways. The entire market's just had no liquidity this weekend, no volume at all. I'm not sure if that's caused by the US government, by macro, whatever, but it's been a very, very slow weekend. But yeah, consolidation, probably next move is up. Let's zoom in. You can see this downtrend's kind of over, kind of bottoming around here. So yeah, you would expect it to start moving up. The December peak, in fact, it had a January peak around 5.8, but really what you're looking for is the March peak, which was back here, 5.5. That'll be a good support level to build, and then obviously we'll fill this wick up to 8 cents. Thoughts on XCN? I don't really have too many, to be fair. I know it's gone crazy this weekend. Insane move, to be fair. 2 weeks up 1,500%. Wow. Hopefully a lot of you are in XEN. Hopefully you're taking profits, because you could easily see this retrace back down to like 0.018, which was a local high over here and the wick high here. So yeah, I would make sure you've taken profits on that. Let's see, is it shown as, yeah, shown as oversold on every time frame. Let's see about the 2 week. Yeah. So yeah, I'd make sure you've skimmed some profits if you're in XEN. These are drawn on from a previous stream when we're shown how to take profit levels. Sushi, I'm mega bullish on, to be fair. I like Sushi. I think it'll do really well. 3-day chart looks pretty bullish as well. Like I said, I think it was Cardano, was it? Or no, it was Polkadot. It's filled all the wicks. So right now, the next obvious move for Sushi is up. 4-hour time frame does look like a bit of double bottom as well. These double bottoms seem to be appearing all over the market. I do expect them to play out. They all seem to have pretty obvious targets as well, which ties up. So this one, if this double bottom plays out, takes you back up to 148, which just so happens to be this wick high in here, which was also a local high and resistance level here, and back on the 2nd of January here. So yeah, it seems like it's valid. When you look at chart patterns, if the pattern ties up with a previous support or resistance area, then chances are it will play out. So yeah, we could see a move up to 148, 149 for Sushi in the coming days. I do think the market's primed. Like, I can't see any reason. There's so many bullish reasons for the market to pump. It's just liquidity coming out of the market, which I think it will. Remember, Trump's only been in office 1 week, so you need to give him time for his policies to take effect. And then you've got Senator Lummis in charge of digital assets. You've got David Sachs in charge of crypto. He's a crypto czar. So I think they'll all start throwing their weight around in the coming weeks, and that's just going to be so bullish for crypto. I could see literally the crypto total market cap increasing by like $1 trillion between now and the end of February. It wouldn't even surprise me if that happened. And just think of the impact that's going to have on some of these market caps that we're talking about. What is the total market cap today? 3.54. So let's zoom out. So yeah, as you can see, we're just consolidating on all-time high. Let's have a look and see fibs from this move, from the 2021 high down to the 2022 low. So the next target for this move is $4.42 trillion. So yeah, so what's that? 900 billion to get us to that target. So we could see that in the coming weeks. And if you think, I mean, we went from this 2.15 to 3 trillion in 2 weeks. So yeah, crazy amounts of money flow into crypto. Like, we're talking, it's a different animal to normal assets, and that's why people go through these periods of total disbelief when we're saying like Cardano's probably going to exceed $4, XRP's go to $5 in the next move, and then on to $7, $9. Bitcoin will go to $200,000. People just can't seem to get their head around it. But the reason we can say it with such confidence is because it's all in the charts. It's done it before. Trillions of dollars flow into crypto all the time, and also the next round of money printing has to be bigger than the last because the debt's so much more. So during COVID, I think they printed $5-6 trillion. Next time they're going to print 10, and that money is going to flow into assets, especially now that Trump has said the USA is going to be the crypto capital of the world. Let's have a look through some coins. So Sushi we've covered. Let's have a look at LimeWire. Somebody asked me about LimeWire actually. Somebody DM'd me about LimeWire. We put this level on a few weeks ago. In fact, it was ages ago. This does look like it's going to be the support level that LimeWire is going to hold. Around 18 cents. That's a 10x back to all-time high, which was, to be fair, the all-time high was March 2024, so almost a year ago. And none of these bullish tailwinds were in crypto, so I do think all-time high is a realistic target for LimeWire. 10x from here. I think it'll go way beyond that though. I think you could see like a $5 LimeWire, and it probably wouldn't be that massive a surprise. They seem to have loads of things lined up. They've got brand appeal, they've got brand name, and they've also been building constantly through the last couple of years. They also launched at one of the worst times ever during the summer of 2023. So markets were terrible back then. So yeah, I do think they have a lot up their sleeve and could do really well in the bull run when it properly, I know we're in a bull run, but when the bull run's in full euphoria stage, something like LimeWire could do very well. Somebody asked about Opulus. I think it was maybe Ross, to be fair to him. Not much to say since the last stream. Like we're still just consolidating sideways. We need to clear this 200-day moving average at the 7.5 cents, so 0.075. Once we get through that, the lines on the chart are pretty accurate. To be fair, you've got 9 cents and then 13, and then from there, that's when it really starts moving up to kind of 24 cents. Still very bullish on these projects. Anyone in CC Pro knows our conviction doesn't really change. So Opulus, we were very bullish on it for a number of reasons. I know a lot of members that have already made a lot of money out of it because we launched it at 4 cents, and obviously it's had a couple of big run-ups. So yeah, still bullish. 10x you should have had out it already. So yeah, I suppose it's just to reiterate, we when we have conviction around an asset, we hold that unless something massively rocks us, and we'd announce that to members anyway. So if we've not announced or mentioned anything about a project in the last couple of weeks, doesn't mean we've lost interest. It's just that sometimes it's better to just switch off and just let the market play out rather than worrying about Opulus down at 6 cents. Is it going to go to 4? Is it going to go to 10? Just let the market play out until it gets closer to your targets, and then you can start executing. Because if you worry about these day-to-day moves, that's how you kind of drive yourself mad, and then you start looking at other coins and potentially do something stupid like rotate into another coin just before Opulus pumps, for example. And we've seen it so many times in the past. Kieran, you're so right as well. Yeah, that's exactly the point of trading, of charts, of markets, is like the money makers, the smart money, the people that control the market. They want people to get fed up. They want people to lose interest. They want people to leave the market. But they also want you to sell early. So I can't even tell you how many conversations I've had where people say, I did want, let's use Ethereum as an example. I did want $7,000 Ethereum, but because it's been such a brutal bull run, bear market, once it gets to $5,000, I'm just going to sell and get out of the market. I hear that all the time about pretty much every coin. So XRP, some people's targets was $7, now it's $5. Some people's Bitcoin target was $200,000. They've probably already sold because they get so frustrated with the market that they just take any win, which is great, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Profit's profit. Taking wins, you'll never go poor taking profit. However, what it is going to mean is that these massive euphoric end phases where crazy gains are made, a lot of people sell way before that just because they're kind of scarred. They've got like PTSD from the markets, so they get out with whatever win they can rather than holding for the kind of last extra percents. That's kind of the way I see it. But like I say, you'd rather take some profit than try and hold for the very top and then miss out. MV building support here, back to this level where it was back in November. This nice little spike happened just at the end of kind of the altcoin rally. When Trump got elected, altcoins, crypto exploded much higher. And this kind of proves this. Is we saw some of the bigger caps run like Solana and XRP. The smaller caps ran kind of later on, but they had these explosive pumps. MV had the exact same. So we may see that again, is that it kind of grinds up with the market, and then towards the tail end of the bull run, we see it absolutely fire off. And by then, the market will be worth in excess of kind of $6-7 trillion. It doesn't take a lot of that cash to flow into these low alts, and it'll just fire off. Yeah, Dick's spot on. The market will pump, people will sell because they just want out, and then what happens is, so let's put Tron on the chart because I see a few folk asking about. So what happens in that situation is the market pumps, people don't take profit, it drops, trade sideways for weeks, people get fed up, then it pumps, and then it drops, and people haven't taken profit, and then it trades sideways, and people are, by this point, totally scarred, hate it, hate crypto, want out, just want the money, sick of it, and then it pumps again, and they take the win. But what happens is the market moves way higher than they even expected, and then they go chasing it, and they invest all that cash that they've pulled out the market back into the market, and that's what causes that end euphoric phases, because people that took profit plus retail is all piling in, chasing the last final pumps of the market, and that's how people get caught holding the bag. So yeah, if you're out, you're out. If you take profit, you're out. If you sell LimeWire at $1.20, you're out. You can't go back in at $1.50, because the move from $1.50 to $2 isn't worth risking that it doesn't actually get to $2 and it fades at $1.90, and you're left with thousands of dollars worth of LimeWire into a bear market. So I would say that was a key bit of advice, is once you're out, because chasing a pump for another 10-15% isn't worth it when you've already made 100-150%, but you sold earlier than you wanted to. Is it a bad idea to hold XRP for the long term? I wouldn't say it was a terrible idea. I suppose it depends on your motivation. If you think in 5 years' time it's going to be worth, I don't know, $20-25, then crack on. But like, you will get an opportunity to buy XRP back lower than it is now. So the bear market will crash altcoins. Altcoins will go back down 75 to 95%, no matter what MD says. So I wouldn't do it personally, put it that way. But you could always keep 10%, just keep it hidden away and hope that one day it pumps much higher. That makes sense for me for Bitcoin, because I don't see Bitcoin going anywhere in the next 20-30 years. Altcoins, including XRP, including Ethereum, anything could happen. So yeah, I'll keep some in case it goes ballistic and goes to like $13. I think that's the top of the fibs. But for me, I wouldn't be bothered holding a large percentage beyond that. My prediction for XRP this time next week. This is the thing, is like, we can come on here and we can say charts look bullish, blah blah blah, but XRP could literally trade in this tight range for another week and it wouldn't surprise me. It literally just wants to frustrate the life out of people. And the great thing we have is CC Pro. So CC Pro is an amazing barometer of sentiment in the market, and right now people are fed up. Like the chat room, crypto Twitter, people you talk to, everyone is fed up of altcoins just trading sideways. That's why Ethereum's getting so much FUD. XRP is now getting loads of FUD, even though it's at $3.12. The entire market is getting hammered with bad news or just people moaning and complaining. So yeah, I do think next week we'll see a big move. I think it might be a slow start to the week, and then obviously FOMC will cause some movement. Either way, it'll cause volatility in the markets. It always does, so no real surprise. I can't actually see the question, but somebody asked me about Tron. Michael. Yeah, this is like Casper. It probably will go higher, but it's up 132% since in the last year. So yeah, I suppose it depends why you're buying it. If it's just because you see a lot about it, let's see what it is. Rejected off the 702, so yeah, you would like to see it back at $7 from there. 1066 looks like a target. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely bottomed. This looks like a support level here for it. So if you were going to buy some, then, I mean, if you were going to buy some, you would have bought some a year ago. But if you really want it, if it's something that you're really bullish on, then yeah, somewhere in here would be the time to buy it. Probably, yeah, if it comes back down to this level here, 487, that would be your buy trigger. Yeah, just be careful chasing stuff based on hype. I wouldn't buy stuff up here. I wonder if MD holds Rune. Got absolutely killed. The story about being bankrupt or something like that. The hilarious thing is, this is what happens with all these sell-offs. It's just convenient that they all come back down to a key level. Came back down to this peak here, this February 2023 peak. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what plays out. I saw a lot of people saying that it's fine, it's not that bad. I think it's similar to what happened with CRV, Curve. So Curve had a similar story. I think it was in here, this capitulation zone, that the founder had gone bankrupt or something like that. I think it's similar. But while we're on Curve, looking very nice indeed. Getting ready for the next leg up. A nice bull flag on this, quite a big one as well. The target of this breakout is huge. I'm sure I checked it earlier. So if you say that's a bull flag, let's draw it on. Something like, let's move this out of the way. Something like that. breaks out even around here, targeting 189, which is this resistance, support level from March 22. So again, targets line up with key areas on the chart from the past, makes it more a valid target. So yeah, we could see a big move for CRV. Again, CRV, this would be the first resistance level at 105, and then you've got 129, and then you've got top end target 135 of this move, but it's in a bigger downward trend, and the target is 159. So big things to come from Curve in the coming weeks. So I can't really chart Plutus, Mark, just because I'm pretty sure it doesn't have, yeah, it's not listed anywhere that you can really, it's not great charts to be fair. But yeah, I don't really know what's going on. They changed all their programs, all their incentives and stuff like that. The problem with any token that you earn that coin for, well, in Plutus's case, you earn Plutus for spending on the card, but there's no real buy pressure for Plutus. Like, why would you buy the token? Because you just earn it, and then what happens is there's constant sell pressure. Because if you earn, say, £100 worth of Plutus tokens every month, like what most people probably do is just save them up, and then when they get to like £1,000, they just sell it. So there's constant sell pressure for Plutus, but there's nothing to stimulate buying. So I think that's the problem with a token like that. There's no buy mechanism. So yeah, I think they are working on it. I see a lot of tweets. Don't really pay too much attention to it. Yeah, let's have a look at Link. If I had 20k, what would I put it in? Love those questions. I tell you what, send me 20k and I'll tell you what I buy. Yeah, looks like Link's wicked off the June high, just like everything in the market. It obviously benefited from the strategic reserve, digital asset reserve announcement, because I think Link's one of the coins that Trump's foundations bought. Be interested to see what happens with that this week, if they start buying more, if people copy them. Because if you're an institution or a bank or something like that and you want to get into digital assets, surely you would buy the ones that are basically authorized or endorsed by Trump, so that would at least protect you from regulation. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Link much higher. On the weekly chart, it's got loads of room to run. Quite a nice bullish check back as well if we look at where it bounced off. You know, one, two, three, four touches of this line, and then it's tested its support, which will give it a lot of strength. Break 31, and then you're probably looking 38, and then we could see, definitely we could see a Link all-time high this quarter, easy. Yeah, it looks like, I think we said this last week we were on stream, looks like it's bottomed, bit of double bottom in there as well, which is always bullish as a bottom information. So yeah, ideally we'll see it reclaim this 200-day moving average at 20 cents. From there, you would expect it to start climbing much higher. The good thing about charts like this is once they move pretty quickly. See this here, what's that? 4 days, 57% move, and then again in 6 days it moved. In 6 days it moved 38%. So big moves, because there's not a lot of sell pressure in the chart once you get down to these levels. Let's have a look at the DXY. As we said weeks ago, rejected off the 702. We have retraced now to the 50% level. Hopefully that breaks, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a bit of a reaction, maybe a little bounce from the 50% level, maybe back up to the 618 and then drop back down. If we do see that bounce this week, we'll probably see it Monday, Tuesday into the FOMC Wednesday. And if, for example, we did something like this and we were just sitting right here on Wednesday afternoon, then that would tell me like if we couldn't break through, if we were getting rejected off this level, the 618 level on Wednesday afternoon, that would tell me that we're likely going to go much lower, because that's what typically happens behind these news events. Is we always seem to be at key resistance or support levels, and then the news comes out and we see a rejection or we see a bounce. So yeah, we could see something like that this week, and then ultimately we're heading much lower. And for anyone that likes gold has finally broken out of this target, this pennant, this bull pennant that we've been in. And this is what I'm saying, is these bull flags are all over the market right now. Broken out, targets I think it's more than $3,000 actually. $2,970 it is. So yeah, and I think I think gold is signifying that money printing is coming, and basically everybody's already said that they want a weaker dollar, they want lower yields. There's one simple way to achieve both those things, and that is by printing a ton of cash. Yeah, we could look at CRO. Let's have a look. I'm sure I've got it on here somewhere, but let's just type it. Yep, back to this high. Let's have a look. Bounced off the 50% retracement. So yeah, nice to see it get back up to that 18 cents level and then build from there. It's not something I hold. It does move, really volatile as well. Not sure, do you hold it or are you just asking about it? Somebody asked about meme coins. I don't know why, I just have this feeling that the meme coin kind of excitement of the cycle, especially on Solana, is kind of starting to bore everybody. I think the focus is going to shift quite abruptly to utility coins, and Trump's going to drive that, but also like banks accumulating altcoins is a signal to basically everyone that altcoins are genuine investments. I think when we see that shift, meme coins will get slaughtered, especially on Solana. And the reason I say it especially on Solana is because 99.9% of Solana meme coins are just pump and dumps. Somebody done a survey and I think 0.5%, so 0.5% of people actually said they were in profit from Solana meme coins. So why would you continue to get burned? Just buy an altcoin and hold it, and you're more likely to be successful. But it's taken like a year for people to wake up to that. So I think we will see a bit of a shift soon. And we've been calling for it for a while, to be fair. There's still money to be made in altcoins, in meme coins. There's always going to be money to be made, but this whole people having portfolios just in meme coins, this meme coin super cycle, I don't buy it. And if there was one area that Trump and his administration, although he launched a meme coin, if there's one area that they would regulate just to give somebody a win, it would be meme coins. So yeah. Read a bit about SwissBorg having Avalanche on board. Nah, definitely not better than Solana. But the beauty of Avalanche is it's a EVM chain, so it opens SwissBorg up to tokens launched on EVM. I'm pretty sure it's like compatible, interoperable is the phrase. So I'm pretty sure it means that SwissBorg can now launch tokens on Ethereum as well, and Avalanche and someone else. I can't remember. I'll maybe do an update in CC Pro on it. But that's the whole point in it, is so that they can now start onboarding more projects that they couldn't in the past. The other exciting part about Avalanche is it's not the last. So the plan is by the end of the year, SwissBorg will have like 4 or 5 chains. I would imagine Base will be one at some point. There will be loads of different chains that operate on SwissBorg. So it just means it's got scope to list loads more projects, all on DEXs as well, so they don't have to use Binance and Kraken to pull the price through. So yeah, I think that's why it's so bullish. Avalanche itself, I'm not massively bullish on, but I do think it's just about opening up the gateway to more projects. From an Avalanche point of view, yeah, like it could easily do 147 again. Which would be what, 4x, 5x from here. Top target, you're looking at like 372. I don't hold any, to be fair. It's not a project I've ever really looked at. It is holding the weekly 200 MA support, which is nice. And you've got the 3-day and the daily not far behind, so good support on it. Douglas, I have 62 Solana and I'm in slight profit. I've been thinking of cashing out of Solana and transferring to best blockchain. Thematic. I suppose like everybody's different, so I mean it's entirely up to yourself, but I'm pretty sure best blockchain has like, well, I'm pretty sure Solana's in it for one, and then it's like Ethereum, Bitcoin. I'm not sure what else is in it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it depends how much profit you're in. For me, I think in the next couple of weeks, Solana will be at $300. So I don't know if right now is the time to do it. I mean, you could always wait until you get back up here to $300 and then do it. I don't know if I'd be doing it to best blockchain, because most of the projects in there, apart from Ethereum, are going to be quite high. In fact, let me check what's on. So yeah, so you've got Bitcoin, which is at all-time high. You've got Ethereum, which fair enough is pretty low. You've got Solana, which you're converting from. You've got BNB, which is at all-time high pretty much. I mean, okay, it's not at all-time high, but it's up massively. So BNB actually looks very bullish. But yeah, it's not far away from all-time high. You've got Sui, which is at all-time high. Where is it? Yeah, Sui, which is pretty much at all-time high. To be fair, Tia is terrible. So yeah, the problem with the best blockchain thematic is about 75% of the thematic is at all-time high or very close to its all-time high. So for me, it just wouldn't make sense to convert Solana into that. Now, if you were converting Solana into something else, then yeah, by all means, chase or like put it into something like Borg or something that's way down. Sushi would be a shout. Yeah, I wouldn't go from Solana all-time high to blockchain thematic, which they're all pretty much at all-time high. That would be my only advice. But just look at the charts, see what's inside these thematics before making a move, or just take the profit and just enjoy the profit. Velo looks quite similar in a way to the Borg chart, just coiling up on top of this candle high here from May 2024. So yeah, you would hope this held as support, and as long as this holds as support, then realistically your next target should be kind of up here, which is 58% move from here. So yeah, plenty upside. Again, something that moves so volatile, so trading it, I think it's a bad idea. But it does look like it's bottoming out right on this support level. So yeah, I would expect to see it follow the charts up. Everything points to the fact that Ethereum and the altcoin market is ready to break out. If we look at the total 2 as well, it's literally in this pattern that every single altcoin's in. Just this kind of bullish pennant formation. Every single altcoin's pretty much waiting for some catalyst to just send the altcoin market higher. And the next stop is all-time high, and then we probably get some more consolidation on top of the all-time high. So we probably, the next time, break up, come back down, and then we'll probably consolidate here in a tight range and then go much higher like that. That would be what I would expect in the coming weeks. And again, we're talking like billions of dollars. These look like tiny little moves, but we're talking about 300 billion coming out of the market. 500 billion to get it up there, but yeah, 300 billion just to get it back to all-time high. So they're not small moves, but that 300 billion can just send altcoins crazy due to their small market cap. Or it could be a catalyst like XRP. XRP moves and then people rotate into altcoins. Some nice targets there. Yeah, there's a breakdown on the thematics in Discord, but basically it's like an index fund for cryptos. So they pick a niche of the market like gaming or blockchains, they pick some coins, you allocate your funds, and then they rebalance it. So if one pumps 40%, they'll sell some of it and rebalance that to other coins. So yeah, they manage it for you, which is quite nice. It's quite a good way of being diversified. You're allocated to a section of the market like gaming, instead of just you try to pick the best gaming coins. You can just have 10% in, I think it's 10 different coins, and then they do all the work for you. So yeah, very nice. But that's all for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've got a massive week ahead. Make sure you're in CC Pro to get all our updates, all the information you need. And yeah, we'll be back this week. I think there's going to be a lot of movement in the charts this week, especially leading up to the FOMC and after it. So we will definitely be live streaming on YouTube. Make sure you drop a like, and I will catch you in CC Pro. See you soon.
I want you to see my point of view. Together we can rise. When you see it from my side, always two sides. I wish that you could feel